Thank you all to be here, and good evening. So, I don't want to hide to you that I'm very excited to show you the third generation compass tonight. So we'll have a lot of content to talk about, so efficient package. What means for us efficient package? Some comparison with the current compass. This vehicle is 150 mils longer than today, 85 mils wider than today. Because what I said, more space for our customer. Basically, the length of the overall vehicle is given by the wheelbase. So doing this, we will have 20 mils more of legroom in comparison with the today compass, 45 liters of trunk. We will have 20 mils more of shoulder room for the rear seats and 10 mil more of headroom. But we didn't focus only on the rear space. At the moment, we are able to give only 14 liters of frontal storage on the current compass. With this one, we will give 34 liters of frontal storage. So from the design point of view and the engineering point of view, we worked, let me say, engraving every single surface of the interiors. For example, this is an example, the negative shape of the IP. The IP, this negative shape will be rubberized to avoid any sliding object during the drive session, and we integrated the panic handle in the shape itself of the IP. We will have 40, 20, 40 rear seats splitted, so basically our customer will be able to adjust how they prefer the rear cargo. And then when we make Jeep in a Jeep way, we take a particular attention to the front overhang. So as always, as we did on the Avenger, as we do in many Jeeps, we worked at the limit of the minimum overhang possible on this package, front and rear, selecting the higher overall diameter tire to give the higher ground clearance possible, and for sure to ensure the best technical angle. But we will talk about this in a few seconds. The second chapter was interesting during these 3 years, because as you can see here is a bold vehicle, but we reached the CX and the range that the brand asked to us from the very beginning, working in every single detail and angle. So we optimized the section of the greenhouse, we covered fully the front section of the front door, we closed, as we did on the Avenger, as we are doing in many Jeeps, the 7-slot grille, and we will talk about this in a few seconds. We will have a static grid, active grid shutter to optimize the drag coefficient. And then we accelerated the section of the roof that is hidden by the roof rail to give the perfect aerodynamic flux. Not only will have real air curtains on the front, and I love this particular. This is the cherry on the cake for the aerodynamic part of the compass. We created this aero cladding. They are real outlets that are working, dropping down the pressure of the rear lockery as the racing car on a Jeep. So we will be able to work also with this very hard design on the rear to detach the air fluxes on the rear, reaching less than 0.3 CX on this bold volume, and a range up to 650 kilometers for the electric version. But let's talk about something very interesting for us, the story, the DNA construction of this vehicle. I was always in love with the first generation compass shoulder, the blister applied on the volume. So we replied the sculpture of the first generation, giving a lot of muscularity to this guy, coupling everything with trapezoidal wheel arch. And you know, I repeat every time, this is not style. This is a functional approach to avoid the tire to touch the body when you are in off-road and you are in the maximum compression of your suspension. That comes from the history. A bold volume that unmistakably show the boldness of the vehicle from the front view, and the bent-over grille. You remember the story? The bent-over grille was an engineering trick to reinforce the sheet metal grille in front of the radiator of the TJ. It was reintroduced on the JL, and now we have this treatment. This is this theoretic line that is all across the Jeep lineup. And then let's concentrate on the 7-slot. We did already this exercise on the Avenger, closing the 7-slot because, you know, we are not anymore the wheelies with huge radiator like that. Now the radiators are very small and compressed in the lower part of the grille, of the front end. So basically, the upper part of the vehicle is useless for the air intake. So basically, we closed them, reaching the best CX possible, but this time we'll have a multifunctional 7-slot. So we changed completely the function of the 7-slot from air intake to something futuristic. We'll have radar and camera in the center slot. Many competitors has these features in the lower part of the grille. This is the most fragile point in which you can put these things. So we moved up, recessed, and very far from any obstacle. We will have the 7-slot illuminated that are connected with the headlamp, new signature. So as you can see here, we call it this signature clamp design. And this clamp design is an abstraction of the round headlight starting from the Willys and the Wrangler. But if you rotate that signature, you will have what we call it the Giga X. So that will be the rear signature, light signature. That will be a huge X like that on the rear, and this is our history. It started 84 years ago with a Jerrycan. Then we reported on the first Renegade. We had a huge success on the Avenger with the X because we repeated. And right now we said, okay, let's be proud of the X. Let's repeat in a Giga version on the Compass. And that will be also the first Jeep in the history having the rear logo illuminated. Let's talk again about the rear end. Rear end is not on this tractor, is not only aerodynamic. This is story. The double U reversed shape starts from the SJ. The SJ was, and it is, the first SUV in the automotive market, made in '62, where all the SUV belong. So we took this element and we put it on the rear end of the new Compass. And let's talk about the interior. This is, again, another concept that we already told many times also on the Avenger, but also other products we have. Uncompromised symmetry means to be super visible from all the occupants, not only the driver, but also especially the passenger. Again, the example, when I use my Jeeps, sometimes I get lost in the traffic, but also in the nature, so I need my friends, my wife, to give me instruction when I'm concentrated on driving. So for us, the radio is important because this is the place in which we are going to project the maps. So we'll have 10-inch cluster and 16-inch radio. And then we'll have physical capacitive switches. So this is a new technology that gives the feedback, so this is really important. But being capacitive, we don't have anymore the gaps between the different functions. So again, we are making the life of our customer better. You can clean the interior without having dust in the gaps. And then we have the center console. In the center console is concentrated the brain of the engine. We have selector rein, PRND, and electric handbrake. The selector rein is completely full new design. It will be across many different Jeep models also in the future. It will be always red, so super visible, and rubberized. So the driver should find it very easily also during the night. And as I said, this is the brain of the engine, so we are going to able to select the different drive mode. 360 Soul, very important for us from a functional point of view. Again, you know, we launched the Avenger with the sea-floating pillar, with the same concept that we have on Renegade, on Grand Cherokee long wheelbase, Grand Wagoneer. We said, why not to avoid to have the C-pillar and to give more visibility to our customer with a huge screen windows on the rear. So visibility is very important for us, especially when you are outdoor, close to trees and something like that. It's better to see what you have around you. We will have 7,700 centimeters square of sunroof that will guarantee the perfect connection with the nature. And then you can imagine 360 for us means protection, with a huge and thick cladding all around the vehicle in the lower part to protect the body from any bumps and scratches, with the right section in the right place. Rear reflector, front fog light are encased, so to avoid any, let me say, bump. The aluminum insert, again, are molding color. So we saved the paint, so this is nice also for the planet Earth, but not only. This is another service, again, for our customer. You can scratch them, but you won't feel, you won't see any effect of the scratches. And the outermost section of the door is exactly this part. So basically, you can open your door close to a tree, close to a stone, without having any effect on the body. And then, this is the usual example that I use because I am an active guy. I used to put my bicycle in the trunk of my cars, and I did the same example also for the Avenger. So if you have a normal car with a painted rear bumper, you are going to scratch the bumper. So again, as the Avenger, as the Renegade, as the Wrangler, the rear bumper is a black molding color, single injection, that will be really resistant with every scratches. So, right now, we are talking about functionality. We are talking about the history of Jeep. So I would like to give you another gift. So, welcome 4xe Compass. Welcome 4xe, and hello again. So, as I said before, we had a long discussion about the functionality of the front-wheel drive, but now you will see how many other functionality we added to the 4x4 version. So as you can see here, we'll have higher technical angle. So that means 31 degrees of departure angle, 16 degrees of breakover angle, and 27 degrees of approach angle. Thanks to the new features that we will have on this model. So a specific black fascia front and rear to guarantee the angle that we already set, 10 mm more of suspension, and special wheel of 19-inch that will guarantee the higher sidewall possible on this vehicle to have the best handling in the off-road use, and something that, in my opinion, is the second cherry on the cake on this model. So as you can see here, the bumper is modular. We had this straight cut in front of on the model to have two different finishing. That they are not only finishing, they are functional. Because on the front-wheel drive will be body color, more mainstream. But for the guy that want to go in the off-road, it will be black, molding color, anti-scratch. So it is a connection also with the history of Jeep. I give you my private example. I have a Wrangler and a Cherokee XJ. The front end of my vehicle are molding color one, and anti-scratch painted the second one. So basically, this is what the Jeepers do to their vehicle, and we took this experience to put on this model. We will have the usual anti-reflective hood sticker to avoid any sun glare in front of the eyes of the driver, and for sure, always better stay safe when you are outdoor with your friends, so we will have the rear tow hook. Heavy-duty rubber mats, and again, this is the fabric that we started to have also on the Avenger 4xe. This is a super robust fabric injected with polyurethane material that will give us the double of resistance in comparison on every fabric in the automotive market. And then another personal example. If you have kids, if you have pets, in general, the back of your seats is full of scratches, mud, everything. So basically, we would like to give another service to our 4x4 Compass customers, a shield for every scratches and also an extra storage if you want to use the Molle system. Saying that, I'm at the end of the design presentation. I would like to give the voice to Marco Montepeloso. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniele, for the great presentation, and good afternoon also from me. So now the aim of my speech is to introduce you to the product novelties and the technical features of the new Compass and the benefits they brings to our customers. And I will start from the core of the project. The new Compass is based upon the new Stellantis Stella Medium platform, a future-proof platform designed to electrify C and D segment vehicles, offering impressive BEV range, fast charging, efficiency, and performances, while retaining a multi-energy offering. But the challenge was to leverage the platform flexible concept to make the new Compass a unique, a distinctive SUV that stays true to the Jeep DNA without compromise. And we certainly rose to the challenge by making the new Compass the most capable vehicle manufactured from the platform. The new Compass has a ground clearance of up to 200 millimeters at battery level, an approach angle of 20 degrees, a breakover angle of 15, and a departure angle of 26 degrees, and up to 470 millimeters waterfording. We managed to achieve this working on vehicle architectures, shortening the front overhang by 20 millimeters and the rear overhang by 30 millimeters, while raising the vehicle from the ground. But capability is not only geometry. Selected terrain will be standard on all the versions to support our customer on the most challenging situation, as it will be the 360-degree protection already available on the Avenger. And the all-wheel drive version will be even more capable, thanks to extra-functional design that ensures 27 degrees of approach angle, 16 degrees of breakover, 31 degrees of departure angle, and improved ground clearance and waterfording. Hill descent control will be standard, and some of them will be also equipped with extra durable seat material. And we have gone also one step further by developing new suspension tuning for all versions with dedicated springs, dampers, and anti-roll bars to achieve the perfect balance between handling and comfort on difficult road. And the 4xe version will be also equipped with special frequency-selective damping to ensure comfort on rough road and driving pleasure on smooth ones. As we said at the beginning, we also wanted an everyday capable vehicle. That for us means practicality, space, and functional technology. To begin with, off-road characteristics also translate into everyday practical benefits. Off-road geometry means less risk of damage when driving, as an example, in and out of a garage ramps. And the 360-degree protection ensures lower maintenance costs for private customers and fleet, and an overall better residual value at resale. At the same time, the new Compass remains one of the most compact vehicles built from Stella Medium platform, with a total length of 4.55 meters, thanks to short overhangs that give us the freedom to extend the wheelbase and add 55 millimeters extra legroom. The new Compass will simply offer more space for people and gears. In fact, applying the Jeep design to function approach, we also have doubled the front interior storage, which is now about 34 liters, and increased the boot space by 45 liters, reaching a total of 550 liters. And the 40-20-40 split rear bench, standard on all the versions, provide the modularity necessary to adapt this space to the different needs of our customer. The new Compass is an all-inclusive value proposition. That is why technology as performance, practicality, and space is standard across the range. The new infotainment system offers a 10 inches cluster and a 16 inches radio, while connected services ensures that the vehicle is constantly up to date, receiving over-the-air upgrades throughout its life cycle. And the Level 2 autonomous driving will help our customer to drive safely on longer journeys or in congested urban areas. And let me remark this again. All of this will be standard for all our customers. And then the experience can be further enhanced by adding head-up display, semi-automatic lane change, matrix LED lights, or the smartphone access. All novelties over the previous Compass and forward-looking features, some of which normally only available in the premium segment. I would now like to turn to the new Compass Powertrain lineup, which relates directly to the core of our strategic plan to embrace the future while always keeping the needs of our customer at the center of our focus. With a full range of powertrains covering widely the segment, the new Compass will further enhance the freedom of choice we offer to our customer with a 145 horsepower e-hybrid, a 195 horsepower e-hybrid plug-in, both of them front-wheel drive, and 3 BEV versions, Two of them front-wheel drive, delivering 213 and 231 horsepower respectively, and an all-wheel drive version delivering a stunning 375 horsepower at peak. To achieve this massive power, we have introduced a new, dedicated, and more powerful rear electric motor, exclusive to Jeep, with a peak output of 132 kilowatt, adding an extra 49 kilowatt to the platform setup. But most important, this delivers up to 232 Newton meters torque, which combined with a 14-to-1 rear reducer results in an impressive 3,100 Newton meters at rear wheels. This gives us maximum traction in most challenging situations, with the ability to climb at 20% slope even with zero traction on the front axle. EV charging is also up to the higher standard, with a fast 160 kilowatt DC solution offering 30 minutes 20 to 80% charge time and an up to 22 kilowatt onboard charger. BEV range of up to 650 kilometers is another key attribute of our powertrain offering, positioning the new Compass to be highly competitive even in the advanced stage of electrification. But we wanted to achieve these results without compromising the practicality and spaciousness of the car. So the entire team worked proactively on each and every detail to improve aerodynamic efficiency. That is a crucial factor in increasing the range. As a result, although the new Compass is bigger and bolder than the previous generation, we managed to improve the CX by 10%, achieving a value of less than 0.3, introducing elements like the active grille shutter that is directly integrated into the front bumper, air duct on front and rear wheels, sharp rear edges, and a fully flat underbody design. Now, it's Fabio Stern, another committed teammate on the project. Thank you.
We developed a car which is body-centric in terms of market and of customer demand for what is the largest segment in Europe. So the CSUV segment, which is expected to be 90% BEV, PHEV, and hybrid. Then, as mentioned before, new Compass customer will have the freedom to choose between three different powertrain technology. I remind you the hybrid plug-in, and the full electric, which is going to be able to satisfy both who enjoy the all-electric driving experience, as well as the people who are seeking for a more practical, a more versatile solution. And this full electric, in particular, engine will have the option on the front-wheel drive of two ranges. So we will have the 500-kilometer range, which is going to be basically able to satisfy the meeting the needs of most of our customers, and the mentioned 650-kilometer range for the sort of a top alternative for the long-distance travelers. On the other hand, the 4xe will feature a 600-kilometer range. And the shared focus of all these powertrain options I mentioned is always to ensure the driving pleasure and the comfort in every situation. In this particular context, the 4xe technology, which is the 4x4 according to Jeep, I believe deserves a special attention, because while we have extended the 4xe and the capability across the entire Compass range, the 4xe remains its ultimate expression, which is allowing you to reach basically every destination, wherever it may be. And this ultimate capability is also very important in everyday's life. Then, last but not least, the color palette. So the new Compass will be available in 6 colors, which are meant to evoke the natural landscapes and also the geographical regions of the world. So just to make an example, from the bright green that you see here of the Hawaii to the ice and snow of the Antarctica, or another example from the volcanic island in Sicily to the rainforest in Amazonia, just to mention a few of those. And all these amazing attributes we've outlined so far will also define the first edition of the new Compass, which you see here, and will mark the introduction of the model in the market. And this first edition is also meant to showcase all the product pillars we've all mentioned so far, being able to deliver a true Jeep experience. So to begin with, it will be available with a choice of two powertrain, so both the hybrid and the BEV. And it will be equipped with very richly equipped. It's a sort of a top trim. So it will have styling features such as the 20 inches wheel, the 7-slot illuminated grille that you see there. It will have technology features also, such as the Matrix LED in the front, again here, or the 16 inches radio system in the inside of the vehicle. It will have a full set of ADAS systems, so L2 autonomous driving, 360 stick protection, and of course the comfort enhancements such as, for instance, the premium seats or the hands-free power liftgate. So this first edition will be for sure striking in appearance. It will be loaded with additional standard features. I'm not going to mention to you all of them. They're going to be show slide in here. And it will have also a selected option which will make the offer even more appealing. The sunroof that Daniela mentioned, the head-up display, or the 360 camera, just to name a few of them. And regarding the timing, the deliveries, the first deliveries to our showroom will start from the last quarter of this year.